the interval to Ricky Rudd, our leader in the 28 car, 2.8 seconds. This is coming down the front stretch here. You can see it shrinking just a little bit. Not a lot, but look right here. Jimmie Johnson in the 48, he's having to work lap traffic. But when he's out in clean racetrack, he chops a bunch off that about a tenth or two a lap.
Now, Mike, it's all, it is all those things combined. But that tuner makes the biggest difference. He's the guy they turn to and say, can we make it? Not the crew chief.
See right there, Jimmie Johnson, one more car, he'll be in clear racetrack. Ricky Rudd starting to catch a big pack of cars.
And that car is the second place car, Bill Elliott.
I don't think Bill will put up much of a fight. He knows Jimmy's faster than he is. He's going to pull down and let him go right on by. Bill's trying to save fuel as well. He can't gamble on racing him.
Second and third right here, 2.5 seconds behind leader Ricky Rudd with 47 laps to go. It's going to be close on fuel here at Dover. .43 laps to go. Ricky Rudd is trying to win it on strategy. Jimmie Johnson is trying to win it by whipping the fastest car here into a froth. Will Rudd have enough fuel to make it? We know Johnson does.
I mean, that's a great call on the 28's car part. If they finish the race, don't run out of fuel. The worst they can probably do is run second, because Johnson has closed down on him in a big hurry. But nonetheless, Jimmie Johnson's in a catbird seat.
I mean, right now they both were in clean racetrack. Jimmie Johnson still ran 2/10 of laps quicker.
What they got to do with Jimmie Johnson is now he's caught Rudd. I mean, for all practical purposes, calm down now, take a deep breath, and don't make any mistakes.
Bill Elliott is still 2.5 seconds behind Rudd, as he was when we went to break. But Elliott now the third place car. Jimmie Johnson is within 1 second of the race leader.
For the Jeff Green fans, he's back in the race after that hard hit a while ago after blowing a tire. He's 68 laps down, so he's back out there trying to make some circles.
Matt.
Well, Mike, DW is exactly right. 2 laps ago, Chad Knaus came on the radio and told Jimmie Johnson, you can see him through the windshield. Now just pace yourself. Just find a nice rhythm and pace and go after him.
Yeah, now that the gap has closed, he's there. He's got a better race car. You know, get up there, get around him, but also use some good common sense now. Use good judgment.
Jimmie Johnson has led the most laps today, and he's in position to take over second in the Winston Cup standings.
I got about 39 laps.
There's our point leader, Sterling Marlin. Bobby Hamilton is going to inhale Marlin. That's for 11th place.
And even on, Sterling Marlin is kind of neat the way he did. Even though he doesn't have the best car out there today, where is he? He's probably going to end up in it.
Well, here's the lead. It really won't be much of a battle, I don't think. I'm sure Ricky will fight him hard.
I'm just impressed with the way that 48 car will come up off the bottom of the corner, never wobble, drive right off the corner, straight as an arrow, and away he goes.
We almost missed it because he was a second back and caught him like that.
I think Ricky's really having to. I think he'll fall in behind him now and try to save as much fuel as he can, but keep him in sight.
Right there's where he's so strong, Darryl. You talked about it. He gets up off that corner on that straightaway.
See, this is where the old veteran, if he is probably as smart as I think Ricky Rudd is, he'll worry him to death. He'll just kind of sit there and worry him. And, hey, I'm back here, old buddy. I'll let you catch me, but guess what? I ain't going away.
Dick Berggren tells us that our winner from September, Dale Earnhardt Jr., he had to come to pit road. He was overheating, not having a very good day. He's back out there 4 laps down in 31st.
Now, Johnson will run away from Rudd, but Ricky may be able to get right back to him in traffic.
I don't know the way that 48 car is running. He better not let him get too far away.
Right.
I was anticipating Rudd would try to hang with him.
Ryan Newman, Dale Jarrett. This is 5th place.
It's that run up off the outside there. Gets a good straightaway speed. Makes the pass.
Just remember, a lot like Jimmie Johnson, though, Dale Jarrett in 88, he has a little fresher tires than these guys. Like Jimmie Johnson, he elected to get 4 tires under that last caution.
And you see, Newman doesn't give up. He drives it right back under him. That's the thing about these young drivers. They're relentless. But they don't know how to pace themselves. They got no
fresh
pace.
Tires, this is about 7 seconds behind our leader right now.
Jeff Burton, who's the best of the Roush cars as this race wears on into its final 10%. They're in 4th place.
But
and Hamilton back after Sterling.
I just I can't help but have a little bit of a knot in my stomach for Jimmie Johnson. His car is so good, like we saw last week. He should have won the race last week. And I just want him to slow down a little bit and pace himself, because he's still blowing back cars left and right.
Jimmie Johnson has opened up 7/10 of a second on Ricky Rudd. 34 to go. Caution has just come out. Kenny Schrader's number 36 has melted going off into turn 1.
No, that's the track bar. It broke the track bar, and the rear end house is flopping around back there, rubbing the tires up in the fender well.
That's what holds the rear end centered in the car.
The track bar, you know.
Track bar melted.
The place where we go after the race is over.
Pit road entrance, maybe.
So, among the lead lap cars, and there are now 18 of them, we have 28 laps to go. Who will stop and who will not?
I think everybody will. I mean,
Yeah,
you
they
have 70 laps on your tires. You're going to have about 20 to 25 laps to go. I think you have to get 4 fresh tires. But how about Kurt Busch? He finally makes that other lap up. Now, he's going to be 17th, depending on how things unfold after the pit stops. Now, we won't see him come to pit road yet because pit road is closed.
Remember what Jeff Green did earlier in the day. Came in the pits 20th, came out 5th, and then settled back to about 9th spot. He didn't lose all that much by not taking on those 4 tires.
Well, we saw the Busch Series, Greg Biffle yesterday. He stayed out on tires with about these same laps on them and drove away from the field. So, I mean, we know that the 48 can make it on fuel. We're not sure about the rest of them.
I think one of these last 6 or 7 cars could stay out and gain from it. We'll see.
Now, Jeff, what one of the guys at the back may do, maybe try 2 tires. I think you have to at least have 2, but I think you need 4.
Larry, you got to be, one thing you got to pay attention to right now coming out pit road, especially if you're the 28 and the 97 or the 24. These guys are still pitted real close together, and with Kurt Busch being at the tail end of this pack, there still may be some problems as far as getting in and out of the pit, getting blocked in, and or damages. So you got to be careful about pit road once again.
Yeah, and of course, Dale Jarrett, he's going to come in 4th, and those guys have had great stops all day. Now, this happened just a few laps ago.
Just as they were coming around for the caution contact, Kurt Busch and Casey Atwood.
Yeah.
Atwood's felt that before.
Yeah, Jimmie Johnson did that to him earlier. He's got that move down pat.
Busch got the spot. They are the last 2 cars on the lead lap. Pit road is still closed because they're putting down some speedy drive from Ken Schrader.
Mike, this could also be a problem if you come down pit road. It could mess you up, make you slide through your pits if there's oil on pit road. So these crew chiefs are really got to be on their game and talking to their drivers, trying to make the right call as far as pit road's concerned.
Excuse me, I'm corrected. It wasn't because of oil. It was because the wrecker is going to have to push Schrader's car off of pit road, and it was in the way of some cars that would have made their stops.
Here's when you hate to be the leader. If Jimmie Johnson stays out, everybody goes in. If Jimmie Johnson goes in, everybody stays out.
This is one of those times when I'm glad I became a broadcaster.
Now, if I'm Jimmie Johnson, I'm sure I watched that Busch race yesterday and saw Greg Biffle not stop late in the race and go on to win it.
You know, I got to think they're going to stay out. I think the 48 will stay out. I'm not sure about the rest of them.
Well, the 28's questionable on fuel. We think he'll be in.
Yeah, well, that he probably can make it now. We had caution laps before, had this run here. Now we got caution laps again, so maybe he can make it on fuel now.
Stay out, man. Let's do it. I agree. Step 4, let's do it.
I agree.
Give Greg Biffle an attaboy on that one, maybe.
Well, if they're making a decision, they have to make it now because pit road is open. So we'll see who comes to pit road. We'll see who stay out. Ricky Rudd in the 28 car, he's coming to pit road. Bill Elliott in the 9.
Larry, that is the problem with not pitting the last time. If a caution fell this time of the race, but you see what they did, they left him sitting a duck out there.
Dick Bergman, Jimmie Johnson's a lonely man. Looks like the only leader that didn't pit.
And Todd Parrott made the call on Dale Jarrett. He said, come on, tires. They're going to put 4 tires on it. No adjustment to the chassis. The only adjustment is air pressure. They wanted as simple a pit stop as possible. To Matt.
Jimmie Johnson stayed out because he wanted clean air. The 88 is out. Bill Elliott, they're going to go up 1 pound on both right side tires. A 4-tire change, no fuel for Elliott. To Steve Burns.
4 tires. This is what they needed, Matt. 4 tires. They have any shot at all to win. No chassis adjustments, just air pressure on the 28. He gets around the 97 and back onto the racetrack.
Tony Stewart stalled. They have to push him out of his pit. And Jimmie Johnson is the only driver on the lead lap who did not stop.
It's just setting duck, baby. I'm telling you, when you're leading a race like that right there, If you stay out, they all pit.
You said he should stay out.
Well, I know he did. He did the right thing. I'm with you.
Right? Yeah.
Don't that just show you what happened? He may have some friends, though, in Jeff Burton and 55 car Bobby Hamilton, because it looks like they maybe only took 2 tires.
When we went away, I was kidding Darrell that Jimmie Johnson's team might have been listening to his discussion on strategy, but the leader's in a tough spot in this case, Darrell.
Oh, listen, if I'm Jimmie Johnson, I'm going to stay out. But you know what I know by that? Everybody behind me is going to pit. The leader is a sitting duck, but I like that duck.
All right.
Now, the cars behind him, the 99 car, he only changed 2 tires. Bobby Hamilton, the 55 behind him, gas only. This is Mark Martin in a 6 car, got his hood up.
And not much to hold it down.
Not intentionally either. It's just making a bad day worse.
Can Jimmie Johnson hold on? Jeff Burton, Bobby Hamilton, Ricky Rudd, Bill Elliott, Dale Jarrett, and the rest of his field.
Just like we said before we had this situation here, Mike, at Dover, you never know. You never know who's going to win or what's going to happen.
Well, shades of Craig Biffle yesterday. Here's Johnson scooting out from the field.
As soon as he gets a little, these tires on concrete, the concrete seems to be a little bit more forgiving on the tires than they are on asphalt.
Just remember, Ricky Rudd, the 28 car, 4 fresh tires, but he has those lap cars up there to contend with as well.
You see that 22 up there in front of you.
22 laps to go. Rudd moving on the outside. Gaining a little ground, but he's got Hamilton and Burton ahead, the 2nd and 3rd place cars. Bobby Hamilton got gas only on his stop.
Well, yesterday we saw in a 200-mile race, we saw no tires win the race. We'll see how it goes today.
Kurt Busch back on the lead lap, but he's in 16th.
Rudd's around the 55 car in the 3rd place.
And 1.2 seconds behind Johnson, who is waiting on nobody.
No, and you know, he's not. He's getting away a little bit, but not like I thought he would.
And of course, with 19 laps to go after a restart, he shouldn't have to contend with any lap cars. He can kind of run the line he wants to, the line his car wants to run.
Let's go to his pit and Matt.
Well, Jimmie Johnson wanted that clean air as Chad Canals talks to Jimmie. Well, how difficult the decision was it, Chad, to stay out for that clean air and not get fresh tires?
It was pretty difficult, you know, but we watched Biffle stay out yesterday. Tires really didn't do a whole lot for him. We took an opportunity in happy hour yesterday to put on new tires just to see how much it affected the car. It really didn't help us that much. So, you know, a little bit of lap traffic, a little bit of luck. Maybe we can pull this thing off. Jimmie's done a tremendous job. You know, these Lowe's employee owners, boy, they must be really happy with what this kid's doing for us.
He certainly must. 3 dominating weeks behind the wheel of that 48 car. Steve Hurst.
Well, Matt, Ricky Rudd just radioed Michael McSwain and said, I feel like I have a loose wheel. McSwain said, just drive it as long as you can. 22 laps to go. Says, I feel like I have a loose wheel.
Last lap times were pretty even, about a 10th apart, as Rudd tries to run down Jimmie Johnson.
I mean, he drove by Jeff Burton and Bobby Hamilton in the 55. He's not really pulling away from Jeff Burton now. And that time, he lost a half a second to Jimmie Johnson. Something's definitely not right on that race car.
Listen, if you got something like you think you got a loose wheel, buddy, it don't get any better here. And Rudd's slowing down, guys. I think he's going to come to pit road. He's pulled down, and here goes the 99.
Rudd staying out.
No, he stayed out, but man, he pulled down. He's still pulling down. I think he's really trying to figure out just exactly what's wrong with that car.
And what's that condition here, Darrell, where on the concrete